Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. And y'all, I'm just praying nothing happens. Why? Because the cable guy, Comcast, is outside of my residence right now. And every time they show up to help somebody else, one of my neighbors, with their cable, which is what they're doing because they're at my neighbor's house. And somehow it always results in them doing something to mess up my cable. So I'm praying that they don't, but if they do, just know, we'll be right back. Also, um, let's just pray that they don't mess it up. So anyway, Bismillah, thank you guys for being here. Wealthiest risings, richest rising. Um, we're gonna start off with Surah Al-Fatiha, as always. All right, hi guys, welcome to my platform. This is going to be a message for the collective. Collective, my messages are timeless, so when you see them is when you're meant to hear them. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, please don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can get alerts when my videos are posted. If you're new to my platform, welcome. Please hit that subscription button. It would totally mean the world to me. So Al-Fatiha, the opener, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praises for Allah, Lord of all worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. You alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you are have blessed, not those you are displeased with or those who are astray. All right. Secondly, we're going to do Psalms 91. Please and thank you. And whoever, matter of fact, no, never mind. Psalms 91 begins with, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rapport. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say the Lord is my refuge and you make the Most High my dwelling, your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because he loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him with long life. I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Now, what I said, and we have to add, the extra onto it. But what I said is history is a joke. All right, and most likely the joke's gonna be on them, but there was a time when Earth did not belong to just one kind of human. If you walked across the planet 40 or 50,000 years ago, please do. No, get in here. Good morning, sir. How are you? Seven, you do not know me born like that. But thank you for alerting me to the nigga being outside. They don't never fucking listen and they get on my nerves. But, you know, at the end of the day going in, and if he fucks something up, I'm going to call his manager and cuss their ass out. Because they don't never listen. And he's like, I didn't touch yours. I know you didn't. The last one said he didn't fucking touch my shit either. But I ended up with no internet. Anyway.
There was a time when Earth did not belong to just one kind of human. If you walked across the planet 40 or 50,000 years ago, you might have found people who looked almost like us, but not exactly. Some were shorter and stronger. Some had heavy brows and powerful bodies built for cold. Some lived on islands and evolved.
This is something that's on. It's HXNNALAND is the person.
Into something almost unbelievable. Some are so mysterious that we know them more from DNA than from faces. And then there was us, Homo sapiens. Today, we are the only human species left. Not the strongest, not the oldest, not the one that survived the longest, just the last one standing. Which raises a disturbing question. What happened to everyone else? Because for most of human history, being human was not one thing. It was a family, a messy, branching, experimental family. Evolution did not make humans once. It kept trying. Different bodies, different brains, different tools, different ways of surviving the same dangerous planet. But one by one, the other branches disappeared. And the strange part is that we still do not know the full reason why. There was no single moment when the world simply chose Homo sapiens. No single battle, no single disaster, no clean ending. Instead, the story looks more like a slow disappearance. Small populations breaking apart, climate changing fast.
And mind y'all, we know the problem, because today I'm just going to say I'm extremely done with wanting to kind of untangle, untie, undo, unwind their BS, because a lot of this stuff is being written and rewritten intentionally. And if you haven't seen Netflix La Brea, right? It's starting to make me really, really believe even more in time alteration. Why? Because it's almost like the stuff that they even taught me, and I can remember in school, like them going over the history of, oh, when dinosaurs were here, oh, when this happened. They give you a whole timeline. But something about this moment in time specifically, it is like a bunch of people that have forgotten, or the way they are altering something. So on the little show La Brea, what happens is they go to 10,000 BC and they start altering stuff from there. And so in 10,000 BC, when they start altering stuff, they actively open up these portals and things. These sinkholes is what they look like to us. The other thing is, as the sinkholes are opening up, there's stuff from, all different eras in time that are falling through, right? And so in 10,000 BC, there's something that's a part of Los Angeles 2021, or whatever the time was. And so it started to make it so that when they were because people in 2021 or 2026 is still living their life, and as they're living their life, they're uncovering artifacts or things that should be considered artifacts. But that's not actively actually what happened, because then they're saying, the people that's even walking around, like, oh, this didn't exist for this timeline. So there's no way that this should be down here. And then they continue moving on with the show as if, y'all didn't just change history. And every time they do something, in order for them to communicate with the people that are back in the regular time, they go and they find the person, because when they're going through, the time warps and things of that nature, they go through and they start to talk to the person and tell them what they want them to know. Oh. All the barking, please and thank you. There's somebody out there. Somebody you want to see, girl. And so this is how they start to manipulate and change time. And as of now, it's a lot of stuff that's happening that a lot of people can't explain, but they'll blame it on, It starts with a C.
Their bodies could adapt, food disappearing, new competitors arriving, groups mixing, groups dying, and sometimes maybe plain bad. The first human species you have to understand is Homo erectus. And Homo erectus was not some failed experiment. In some ways, they were one of the most successful humans who ever lived. They appeared long before us, around 2 million years ago. They had bodies that looked much more modern than early human relatives. Long legs, shorter arms, built for walking and running across open land. They were likely...
Y'all forgive me. I know it's just a bunch of stuff happening this morning, and we gonna get through it. I know, she just been going wild.
The first humans to spread far beyond Africa, reaching parts of Asia and surviving for an almost ridiculous amount of time. Longer than Homo sapiens has existed. Much longer. If our species feels permanent, Homo erectus should make us nervous, because they lasted for well over 1 million years and still vanished. Their faces were not like ours. They had a low skull, a strong brow ridge, a smaller brain than modern humans, but much larger than earlier ape-like ancestors. They made stone tools. They hunted and scavenged. They lived in changing environments across huge distances. And for a very long time, that was enough. But the last known Homo erectus fossils come from Gandong on the island of Java. The best current dating places them around 117,000 to 108,000 years ago. By then, the world had changed. Other human species existed. Climate was unstable. Forests expanded and retreated. Rivers shifted. Animals moved. And Homo erectus, after surviving for an almost impossible stretch of time, finally disappeared. We do not know exactly why. Maybe their remaining populations became isolated. Maybe they could not adapt fast enough to changing environments. Maybe newer humans outcompeted them. But their extinction teaches one lesson early. Surviving for a long time does not mean surviving forever. Then there were the Neanderthals, the human species people think they know. For a long time, they were treated like brutish cave people, slow, primitive.
So the thing that I noticed, right, because as I said, at this point in time, people that have been here over 300, 400,000 years, right? Mind you, y'all hear what they're saying, billions of years. So depending upon who's talking, depending upon who's narrating, depending upon what they're talking about, and remember I told you about the Jesuits, what they do is tell you the truth and a lie at the same damn time, right? So humanity and Homo sapiens is how they're divvying this up. So each timeline, they're given their own name. And quite frankly, it's exhausting.
Half human. That image is wrong. Neanderthals were not failed humans. They were a different answer to the same problem. How do you survive the Ice Age? Their bodies were powerful, shorter and stockier than ours, with wide chests, strong arms, and thick bone. Their faces had large noses, heavy brow ridges, and long, low skulls. They were built for cold environments where bodies lost heat quickly and food could be hard to find. They hunted large animals at close range, a dangerous way to live. Their injuries sometimes look like the injuries of modern rodeo riders, the kind you get from coming too close to powerful animals. They used fire. They made tools. They likely cared for injured group members. They may have used pigments and ornaments. They were not monsters in the dark. They were people of another kind. And for hundreds of thousands of years, they survived. Then Homo sapiens began moving into their world. And after around 40,000 years ago, the physical evidence of Neanderthal...
It's that then Homo sapiens started moving into their world, when it's everybody's world. They are people too. It's a distinction again where it looks like black and white, but ain't nothing black and white.
Disappears. Biologically, as a living human species, they were gone. But the question is why? The old answer was simple. We arrived, we were smarter, we destroyed them. But the real answer is probably not that clean. Neanderthals lived in small, scattered populations. That is dangerous. Small groups can vanish from ordinary disasters. A bad winter, a failed hunt, a disease, a birth rate slightly too low for too long. Ancient DNA suggests some late Neanderthal groups had low genetic diversity, meaning they may have already been vulnerable before Homo sapiens became a serious factor. Climate also kept shifting. Cold phases, warmer phases, changing animals, changing plants, changing landscapes. Imagine trying to survive when the world you understand keeps rearranging itself. Then add another human species entering the same territories. A species with wider social networks, long distance exchange, possibly faster innovation, maybe better ways of connecting groups across space. Not necessarily stronger, not necessarily better in every way, but more flexible in the one way that mattered. When Neanderthals disappeared, it may not have been because they lost one great war. It may have been because they lost 1,000 small battles against isolation, climate, competition, and time. There was a time when Earth didn't.
So, not just one human. Now, I asked the question, who were the humans that lived 1,000,000 years ago? Because they're going to tell us that our timeline starts, and this is what I don't like about their resets. Because their resets start when it makes it viable for them, his story. And I don't like that because if you're trying to tell the story, and in order for you to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been, you got to know where you come from, right? And in this timeline, we have been seeing and figuring out that if it don't fit, if the archaeologists find stuff and it don't fit into this timeline, or they can't explain it to whatever the narrative is that's happening, they shelve it or try to wipe it away. People that come along in this timeline that, can feel something a little bit more than what they're saying, if you start to speak out, they delete you from the program because it's not a part of the narrative. They don't want that to be a part of the narrative. But at this moment in time, a lot of people, human beings as a whole, are waking up. Mind you, it's people and cultures that live in areas that you have never seen. At this moment in time, still to this day in 2026, it's people that live in places, the rainforest, a couple other places that these people have not had a chance to put their hands on. They try it. And every time they try it, either, they come up missing, they come up deceased, but the only reason why they're trying it is because to them it's always a conquering of a situation. We get in, we start to, manipulate, give you some clothes and some shoes, and before long, guess what's on the chopping block? The rainforest. It don't exist anymore. The same exact way they keep trying to do them people, the Sentinelese people, I think that's their name. They keep trying to go over there, and every time they go over there, them people kill them. And for and all intents purposes, I feel like they're right. Why? Because anytime there's something good or something that's pure on this planet, they literally try to fuck it up. And that's sad. Because here we are, a part of the problem and not, solving nothing for nobody. People that are a part of our timeline are making decisions for, the entire world. And pretty soon, before long, there won't be one. And people that live in, very minute places, or very what's the word when you call it, when it's isolated, people that live in very isolated parts of the world probably know it, probably feel it, probably see it, but on a grand scale, what can they do? The same way probably a lot of us feel. Anyway, it says, when I asked who are the humans that lived 1,000,000 years ago, and y'all may not think that this isn't even important for y'all right now, but it tells you how things continue to play out, and it's getting worse. So although it looks like it's getting better, it's definitely getting worse if we continue to allow them to create the narrative for us, and none of us say anything. And I'm not in agreement with it. I don't like it. Um anyway, so it says scientists use the word human in a few different ways. So the answer depends on what you mean by modern humans versus human ancestors. About 1,000,000 years ago, the earth was likely inhabited by several early human species from the genus Homo, especially Homo erectus, which we got taught about in school, but for some reason it don't seem like these timelines run together concurrently. It's like something keeps disappearing. And then even when they tell you, it's like it fits in this little small window, and then it don't make sense. But that's a part of the plan also, like to erase your memory or for you to forget, because if you forget, then stuff don't get passed down like it's supposed to, and they get to continue to keep manipulating the system. And it's weird because how do you not forget, especially when we're talking about from a million years ago into whatever this is right now that they're also trying to do. So Homo erectus, one of the most successfully early humans, they walked upright, used tools, controlled fire in some regions, and spread across Africa and Eurasia. Africa, Eurasia, they're always the first places on the map. But this is the thing. Even during our timeline, when they're saying human beings are two, three, 400,000. 432 is what they're saying. Because if that's the case, at 432, there are people that ruled the world for 28,000 years. And I just told y'all that. So something is not adding up because they want us to believe that during those times, hey, Dietrich, they want us to believe that during those times, that is like a allegory or it's like a mystical. But mind you, there's so many years in between the million years that is missing. So it's not adding up. Like if you are actually actively going through this time, this timeline, none of it makes sense. And this is where, me as a person, and this is one of the things that I love about me, because we see where the problem is. The problem is that the timeline ain't right. The history is not right. Something ain't adding up. So now what do we do to fix it? Because again, it's like chasing your tail if we continue to keep either not looking at it for what it is or allowing it to just be brushed over, and then we thinking that it's not going to repeat itself. These people are so arrogant that they say in your face, history will repeat itself. And you know what they're bargaining on? History will repeat itself to the T, to where it still always benefits them. Always them, never you. Because again, as people, we don't really want to hear the truth because we're not really going to take the time to even figure out why this is the way that it is, because it's boring. Like, why would they tell us that, whatever at this point, they want to tell us that the earth is whatever the Bible is. The Bible itself is less than 10,000 years. And I'm being loosely, giving them some grace on it. Because I could say about 8. Mind you, I'm talking about religion as a whole. So not just talking about the Bible, I'm talking about organized religion is less than 10,000 years old. But for some reason, those things have boxed our brain into thinking that that's when the earth started or that's when the people got here. And you know what is also like really very disturbing into my brain? And I keep saying, like, God, please figure out a way to make these people see. Because y'all, there's no way we're gonna get out of this if people don't wake the hell up. Because I'm watching people come with a narrative, not realizing that people's narrative that y'all are pushing are the same very people that manipulate it from the beginning. And so it's like yesterday, a page came across and they was showing that Benny Hinn back in whatever the hell 1302, not that long ago, that's an exaggeration, but anyway, back in 1302, there was a guy that was on there and he said at some point in time they're going to push the narrative that ancient beings helped humanity, and that they're, whatever it was basically getting out of the spell that the Bible and the organized religion put on people's brain. But the way they were using it is as if it's like backhanded. I'm gonna tell you in advance so then that way you don't see it when it happens. But mind you, all it takes is a person just thinking for yourselves, reading something and see it for yourselves. Majestic Grace, welcome. She said, thriving rising, Majestic Grace. Girl, and mind you, again, like life is beautiful. life would be so much more beautiful if you could live it for what it is. But meanwhile, these people got so much dragging ass shit happening to the tune of now it's like affecting the everyday life of just people in general, and you not living the top potential of your life of what it could be. And I'm gonna say that because even if you're enjoying life and having fun, the fact that you even gotta listen to this tomfoolery and fuckery that's happening, that's not a part of the best timeline. The best timeline is when these people don't exist for what they are and negative. And that's also a part of the thing, because who's to say, hey Gary, welcome, thank you for being here. Hi Audrey. Who's to say who is who? Because the people that are doing the fuckery think that they're right, and the people who are watching the fuckery know that they're right because they're not doing the fuckery. So then yesterday I'm seeing something else come across my timeline, and it's talking about all of these people, the nasties of the world, have all boarded and they're going to such and such a place because they're trying to figure out how to do this money situation, because this person that is got put in the seat has now corrupted the dollar so bad, but the dollar was already corrupted. The monetary system is corruption. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. I don't care how you put it. Oh, something that amazing that I saw yesterday. Ibrahim Traore, he always makes me smile. I like him. He basically stopped his people from importing any materials like clothing and things of that nature into their area, which is that man is sent by God. I don't care what nobody say. All of them are sent by God, even the one that's over here that's basically doing the bullshit. And but mind you, at this point, we're getting the most information that we've ever had. Anyway, Ibrahim Traore, they said they grow cotton, so they're actively using their cotton to make their clothes. Mind you, our clothes are killing us. Remember, they got lawsuits and things of that nature with Shein and everybody else because they put this, that, and the third in the clothes. And so he's making it so they wear 100% cotton, they gonna be elevated. And this is the thing. If y'all ever noticed, Africa, they will talk about these people like a fucking dog. But mind you, everything they get is being stolen and pillaged from that land. They will say, oh, well, they are, lower, mentality. Just like these people, it's always something that I find that is extremely mind blowing when it comes to these folks. Like this right here.
If you've ever seen the ancient pictures of Jesus, you would. The target being the Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, this was something good.
By entities. See page 14. And can only be opened.
Mind you, this is a classified government document. Okay, so just so y'all know.
Opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container will not / cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Once it is time to open the container, the mechanics of the lock system will be found to be fairly simple. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors, see page 17, through the use of a power unknown to us.
Mind you, that's the Ark of the Covenant. This is a government document that they wrote, that they know. But mind you, the people that are, sit under this doctrine will never ever believe that they're, Ark of the Covenant is being protected by entities. Why? Because there's some old ass nigga that lived in 1302 that has somebody on their channel that said, pretty soon they're gonna push the narrative about ancient beings and this, that, and the third. But don't that sound like an ancient being or it's a demon? Y'all, suit yourselves. But either way, you will have to sooner or later open up your eyes and see what has been given, and it's not gonna go with the church's narrative.
And that is a CIA document. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, dude. Entities? It's protected by entities. And it's only authorized people can go. Like, who's authorized? The Levites.
The Levites who are the priests.
Golly, dude. It's wet and it's dark. Entities are protecting it. Yeah. I don't like this. But what's interesting is he says...
So who are the entities that are protecting it? Y'all think it's angels? Angels are protecting it? because it could be angels, but guess what? The angels have feathers, and then it comes from this other thing from this other book, and angels are entities. So it's either angels that are protecting it, which is still something that you can't see, which is still something that's alien, which is still something that's foreign. It's demons, same scenario, because same, or otherworldly, same. Demons are otherworldly, angels are otherworldly. I don't know.
Send me my person that my blessings is already tied to.
Please and thank you. Where did it?
I'm pretty sure that I died in jump timelines. And
Didn't I tell y'all about dying yesterday?
Everyone's gonna think I'm crazy, but I have.
Majestic Grace says she thinks it's angels. Well, we better pray that it's angels, because guess what? At this point in time, the fact that the CIA is involved in anything, that means government. I don't like it. I honestly don't like nothing that these people do. And I'm going to tell you why. Every time you turn around, they could potentially do the right thing. They never do. It just seems like it's not in them. And that's the saddest thing. They will say it's all for humankind and mankind. It's never for us. It's always for them. The fact that they even hide history the way that they do, but they're talking about even that though they have it programmed, like if you don't ask a question that goes beyond, you have to ask the right question or nothing opens up for you. Because again, it will say that Homo sapiens, modern humans, Homo sapiens did not appear until roughly 300,000 years ago in Africa. But nigga, it was people here a million years ago. It was stuff here a billion years ago, because technically, let's see what it says. And then the other part is this. Who are they? Because they are guessing just as well as anybody else is guessing. Just because they're saying, "Oh, I have just because I went to school and I'm an expert." Who told you that they was expert? These niggas was just guessing the same way anybody else could guess. Now, this shit, okay, so a billion years ago, Earth was a very different stage of life. The planet mostly contained simple microscopic organisms, algae-like life in algae-like life in oceans. Early single-celled and some multicellular organisms. Complex animals did not appear yet. Dinosaurs, mammals, and humans were all far in the future. This is a billion years ago. So, mind you, there's stuff that they're finding that even from their own, recollection and however they're dating it, go back to this. So again, I tell you, it's great that they can figure out certain things, but these people cannot be trusted. And then furthermore, there are times spouts throughout history and time where it shows that otherworldly beings, whether it be angels, whether it be extraterrestrial. And what if that's the only thing? What if there's only angels and demons and those are extraterrestrials, because those are people, those are entities that we don't know. But mind you, they done created this, or this. I don't know, they don't know, we don't know. All we keep doing is trusting in these people, and this is one of the biggest things. We got y'all, it's just starting to annoy me so bad, because to me, the amount of corruption that has gone on so bad almost seems like there's never been a time where anybody on this earth has ever been good. And I can say that based off of the fact that as soon as human beings started, like literally Adam and Eve got together, the first murder was committed within a matter of, time. Like it don't make sense. It's almost always playing out to where it just don't seem right. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense that even earlier people, like if somebody died by accident, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, go figure. But it seemed like I got mad, I got angry, and I, just decided to, take your ass off the planet, and that was it. Mind you, it goes into the narrative of how people are even to this day, but it's weird how I want to say that whatever is going on is tied to the male species. It has to be because and they're the ones that continue, and I ain't saying all of y'all. The ones that know that y'all are whatever y'all are, I ain't talking to y'all. So y'all wouldn't be offended. The only people that's gonna be offended is the ones who actively know it, see it, and you got whatever that is, it's GMO, genetically modified. Because then they'll tell us that, oh, genetically modified just began during this time. Anyway, let me just stick to the facts of what they have because literally the way they doing it, I don't like it. And I don't like it because it seems like it's very manipulative because they want you to forget. And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, texting back and forth, and we was talking about DNA and the ladder and things of this nature. And the further they can get you away from God, then that's how they got us. That's how it keeps being a manipulation that they're able to get away with it. And so even though, stuff like this exists to kind of try to put it as close as they can, you still can't believe them because how do they know? And then the stuff that came along that was actively true, even before, they decided to cover it up and lie about it, or they'll decide to hide it, or they'll decide to manipulate it to where it benefits whoever's trying to be in charge. And so I don't like that. I don't like that for any of us because that means that it's always going to be something in the mix that is not going to be right. And that's strange because why would you not want the earth to be like to go along as pure as whatever, as pure as it could be? Like no matter whatever that was, but to add just intentional manipulation into it is what I don't like. And that's what it seems like a lot of them do. So anyway, complex animals had not yet appeared. Dinosaurs, mammals, humans were all very far in the future, is what they're saying. Here's roughly a timeline: 4 to 5 billion years ago, Earth forms. Yup, and then makes people who know better a conspiracy theorist. Yes, and then now you're finding out that all the people who were conspiracy theorists, who can think, who had free thinking, were right. The free thinkers were correct, and then everybody made them look like they were weird, and that they were wrong. Now mind you, people done lost their life and nobody cares because okay, oops, they were right. Yeah, kudos, glad they won that prize, but the niggas is dead. Y'all didn't believe them when they was telling y'all. Now they're dead, and that's sad. It's almost like people will fight for the lie, or they will fight for the people who want to hide the truth so bad. But Majestic Grace, I know I sent that to you about those people that died. Like a lot of this shit be pissing me off. And again, I'm telling God that I'm actively able to handle the truth, right? So I gotta be okay with how it comes out and how it's being exposed. But I'm just gonna tell y'all that to me, this shit is just horrible as it goes on. So there in 1897, Nigeria, the Kingdom of Benin, 600 years old, one of the most sophisticated civilizations on earth. The British came anyway. Soldiers marched in, torched the place, then walked through the smoke and took everything. 900 years sacred bronze plaques from the walls, ivory tusks torn from ancestral shrines, sacred objects stripped from every room, then auctioned it in London, the money used to pay for their very invasion that stole Oba Ovarium, king of that dynasty, dragged him from his burning place in chains, threw him in exile like a criminal for defending his own kingdom. He died in exile in 1914, never saw his bronze again. Mind you, 1914 is not that far away, just so y'all know. We're in 20 now, but that wasn't that long ago. He never saw his home again. The bronzes went to 165 museums worldwide. The British museums took and put them in glass cases, charged people to see them. Mind you, again, repeat, they killed people that wasn't bothering them. Went over there, took their stuff, put it in a museum, mind you, it's funny how even like how they would do people, put them in museums, capture them. Like this is the type of people that exist in the world. Mind you, it was also funny that it went back. Matter of fact, no, let me stick to the program. Money to look at them. Nigeria asked for them back. Britain said no. Ask again. Britain said no. Kept asking for them for 90 years. Britain said no. Until 2022, Germany returned 1,100 bronzes. And one country had the decency to act. The British Museum hasn't returned a single one. Still charging admission to see them. This is right now. 2022, Germany had the decency to return them. But mind you, I'm going to keep telling y'all the same names keep appearing throughout history as being the most, they call everybody else savages. But meanwhile, the savagery keeps coming from them. And it's strange. Like at some point in time, and this is the thing, like you want to be able to learn to live with people, but for some reason, and this is why I have to keep getting God to search my heart, because you want to be able to live with people, right? But something in me tells me we're gonna have to really get rid of them, and then that don't make us no better than them. And so literally God can change things. The situation can be changed. Whatever's happening, please get them. Because the other thing is this. In order to I don't want to be that type of individual. I don't want to be those types of people. And it's looking like they're gonna force your hand, and I don't want to be put in that situation. So God, please get them. Because to me, it's like they're gonna keep pushing, they're gonna keep pushing, they're gonna keep pushing until, mind you, this is hundreds of thousands of years later, and they still the same wicked, nasty, evil individuals. And then there's a story, right? Because it makes me wonder, like, how at one point in time everybody got along. That is also what they're using as well. There's going to be one world planet. They keep trying to push the narrative. They're even now to this day they're trying to push the narrative, one world order, da 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 da, but they're trying to do it in their way. They're trying to make it so they can control. And then they pitch in the other narrative, because one world, when people are together actively and it's not being controlled, because I don't got to get no documents or nothing under my skin. Like y'all keep acting like y'all don't see who the problem is. One way it works because it's not being controlled by them, it's not you being forced to do something. The other way is God's way. And two things can be true at the same time. Like, in order for us to get along, we all gonna have to get along, but it's free will. On their narrative, we all gonna have to just be under one thing. And so I heard yesterday, and this is where people can be good people or bad people. And so also I don't even know, because then I heard another narrative that because of what was happening in this location, and they tried to force the strait to be open, and then they figured out a way to do railroad, and they backdoored the situation, and then they got paid in different types of currency, right? And then there's the narrative being painted that this nigga over here got on a plane with a whole lot of tech dudes, da 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 da, and now they're going to conversate with the people that's over there. Well, in a real scenario on my timeline, the people that's over there, when all of them and the tech people got over there, they arrested every single one of them and locked them the fuck up. On another timeline, they agreed to now manipulate, oh, we got to get the currency, we got to be in control, because why else? So I'm on a timeline where they got locked the fuck up. The people, when they flew over there to do them deals, they all got charged with crimes against humanity. Every single one of the tech dudes, the nigga that was running the presidency, and the people that is over there became the hero of the world. That's the timeline that I like. I don't foresee no timeline where they want to go over there and now they're all, congratulating each other. Oh, we manipulated the world and society, and so now, we're going to figure out how we can do, crypto, da 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 da. I always like looking up stuff, right? Because even that word just made me wonder, like, what's the definition, right? And although you may know, but then what is the etymology of it? Because where the hell did that come from? And mind you, words have power. It's always something that's being hidden, because that's what it makes me think. Okay, so I was right. The word crypto comes from Greek word cryptos, meaning hidden or secret or concealed. Today, crypto is usually short for cryptocurrency, digital money, secured using cryptocurrency, advanced mathematical encryption. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, but mind you, the word has power. And once they name it, once it's already been given, it's hidden in secret. Why does it have to be hidden in secret? Anything hidden in secret don't benefit you, I promise you. I don't care what nobody say. Like, people can think what they want, and that's what you should. But when they're trying to force the masses like something down their throat, I don't give them authorization. Your money is hidden, and they can press one button and delete it. No thanks. Period. Hey Heather, welcome. Thank you for being here. The etymology. Um, Like, we should never agree to that. And that's the thing. And this is the thing. If we just allow it to go on into the society, that's like, what did I tell y'all the other day about acceptance? Like, when you don't say nothing and you just start using it, that is now you give an acceptance. You have to not use it in order for you to really actively say, I don't want nothing to do with it. The etymology of crypto comes from the Greek word cryptos, hidden, secret, or concealed. Over time, the root entered Latin and English through words, currency to secrecy, concealment, coded information. So, cryptography, secret writing, cryptic, mysterious or hidden meaning, crypt, a hidden underground chamber, encrypt to hide information through coding. So now they're hiding money. And so, if this is what they're talking about, because this is what this nigga got up here and said yesterday. Remember I told you the King Charles, he was talking, and he was saying that we're going to figure out a way to get the money to be, mind you, he's sitting up there with 1 billion jewels on stolen jewels that ain't his. And y'all, I'm just really like, God, please get them, because at this point, like, the amount of arrogance and right in your face bullshit that these people do and expect you, just to sit idly by and continue with their shenanigans. Um, the more you see, my aunt told me the other day I need to stop. She said because it's taking away my joy, and I don't think that it's taking away my joy. I think that it's really making me see these people really for who they are, and which makes me again say, God, get them. Like, nobody should be in jail, because this is what I was saying to her. Nobody should be in jail when ain't none of these niggas locked the fuck up. If ain't none of these people, ain't none of these leaders locked the fuck up, nobody else should be in jail. Open up the jail doors and let everybody free. Because I don't care what nobody's saying, ain't nobody in jail worse than these niggas. So if they're not locked up, why the fuck are these people locked up?
A volatile world threatens the United Kingdom.
An
increasingly dangerous and volatile world threatens the United Kingdom.
They are the problem, though. Like, they started some of this shit. And then again, throwing rocks and hiding your hands. Now you're trying to act as if you didn't. You're not one of the bad guys. You didn't corrupt history. You didn't pillage. You not sitting here with stolen jewels on your head. Like, this shit is weird to me.
An increasingly dangerous and volatile world threatens the United Kingdom, with the conflict in the Middle East only the most recent example. Every element of the nation's energy, defense, and economic security will be tested. My government will respond to this world with strength and aim to create a country that is fair for all.
Facts.
My ministers will take decisions that protect the energy, defense, and economic security of the United Kingdom for the long term. They will defend the British values of decency, tolerance, and respect for difference under our common flag. And they will harness the potential of the pride felt across this country for its communities. My government will take urgent action to tackle anti-Semitism and ensure all communities feel safe. My government believes that the United Kingdom's economic security depends on raising living standards in every part of the United Kingdom. My ministers will support...
All I hear is, I'm gonna throw a dog a bone. Blah, 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 blah. My ministers, my da-da-da, my. That's all the fuck he keeps saying.
Measures that maintain stability and control the cost of living. They will use public investment to shape markets and attract further private investment.
Y'all, like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Because these people don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They never gonna get it. They're never gonna get it. Ain't no way you can rule from up here and never ever come down here and see the benefits or what anybody else is going through. Like, always talking from your throne, like you're out of touch. That's the thing. And then a lot of these people is old as fuck. Like, old as hell. And mind you, still same old ass values, same old ass corrupt ass energy, and still thinking that they right. Mind you, it's the year 2026, and you're addressing people who barely can fucking take care of their family, do it, this, that, or the third. You really controlling, because I've seen people over there saying they control where they're able to go. Like, you're not able to even cross. Some of these people I've seen in different countries said they can't even pick a religion. Even if the religion is fucked up, they can't even choose one. Mind you, it's always control, 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 control. Out with the old, in with the new. And it is always my. Why? Because you still have conquering. You conquered something on your brain. And the fact that you are addressing common folks and you are here decked out with all your pearls dripping, mind you, you done stole like a mother sucker, clearly states you're out of touch. And God, please get them. Like, in real life, like, get them and get them now, because it don't make sense. Like, you trying to make me think that you doing something good for the people, or he's trying to make the people think that he's trying to do something good for him. No, because I can tell you what you can do that, would be good. Like, show them better than you can tell them. It's always a bunch of talking and a bunch of lip service. Never go get your ass in the field and go, let's see what the people are doing. You got time to be your bitch ass over here, but you don't got time to go deal with your own people. Like, this is what the people keep doing. Like, they never go deal and see what their people have, got going on. Go to McDonald's and hang out. Go to Burger King and hang out. Go somewhere, go to the park where it's common folks at. Go places like that, and then we'll talk to you about it. But if you just up here talking and you just always making rules, and for this, let's make another rule. For this, like, you making rules and never talking to the people, like, it don't make sense. And that's for anybody, anywhere. This government, that government, 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 and government. If you only continue to keep making rules and never talk to the people, nobody needs to talk to you. Furthermore, at this juncture in life, Africa people, I know y'all don't really like us and this, that, and the third, but y'all hold the power to a lot of things. And at some point in time, all people gonna have to do is say go. Because literally they will talk about Africa, and Africa at some point in time, please get y'all mind right, because regardless of whether or not we, different copper colored people, or the genetics come way down the line or whatever, we still, family, one tune, one sound, one band, right? All they have to do is say go. Because literally it's going to be a moment in time where everybody has to realize, um and when I say go, it means like stop dealing with them. Like they're figuring ways out, like pull all the resources back, and then figure out how to, he said right, and not listen. Cute baby blue. Thank you. Thank you. And so this is the thing. It's almost like we gonna have to figure out how to live without them. And then I want to say this as well too, because again, I pray that just God gets them to the tune of nobody has to, do anything, or anybody has to become anything that, we're not supposed to do. But to me, it's already like enough blood on their hands to where even if it happened, then bitch, you done a fucking enough, and you still keep going. So then it goes to 1.4 billion years earth forms, is what they're saying, because apparently they got the keys to God and they know, and God told them probably, but they're not telling us. I don't know, or their connection to God is better than yours. Okay. So, and then 3.5 billion years is earliest simple life. How do they know? They not telling y'all about buildings and shit that's sunk in the ground. They telling y'all, but they not telling you when it was really dated. Then they lying, this, that, and the third. So can we trust them? The powers that be. A billion years ago, mostly microscopic life and early multicellular organisms. But based off what the Bible said, it said, because if we want to tell lies, let's go with what they said. So 4.5 billion years ago, earth forms, and what they said was God said let there be light. So if that's the case, then that means that biblically 4.5 billion years ago is when earth started, is when God said let there be light. So is it a lie or is it the truth? Because just because y'all came about it in 10,000 years ago, or less than 8,000 years ago, whatever y'all started talking, then is that when Earth started? Because you're not going to tell me 9,000 lies. My brain, is rationalizing this shit. And my brain is saying at 4.5 billion years ago, Earth forms. Your Bible in Genesis says, God said, let there be light. Is that the case? Because if not, then somebody lying. And I don't like that for us. So which one is it? Is there some different Earth than that Earth? Somebody that is, want to always come and attack my channel, because I know y'all bitches be listening. Come over here and tell me, is that when God came into existence? And if you don't know that, then I'm gonna need you to go back and don't be over here attacking me. You go do some research, and then you bring your bitch ass back over here and tell me, because it says roughly around 4.5 billion years ago, Earth forms. But y'all religion didn't come into existence, or didn't come into a textbook until about matter of fact, I'm gonna just say the oldest religion was about 5,000, 6,000 years ago. But mind you, the Sumerian tablets are older than y'all stuff, and they don't want y'all knowing nothing about what's in there. So something about the timeline ain't right. So either it came into existence when the book came into existence, or 4.5 billion years ago when this mother sucker, you know, manifested. That was when God's spark came into existence. God said, let there be light 405 billion years ago, and the earth was formed. So that means there's been people on this earth, either before that, because again, when God said let there be light, he was still talking to people, the gods. So I'm confused, but it's intentional. So 3.5 billion years ago, earliest simple life. What's that mean? So there's a whole billion years missing. So from 4.5 billion to 3.5 billion, there's a whole billion missing. Am I not correct? Like, I ain't good at math, but somebody tell me. Because there's a whole billion years missing. Now, after that, between 3.5 billion down to a billion. So now that would be what? 2.5 billion years? Again, not good at math, but it's a 3.5 billion years ago, simplest, earliest life form. So then a billion years ago, mostly microscopic life and early multicellular organisms. So somewhere in there, there's 2.5 billion years missing. What happened? It say God took 7 days to create the earth. So from 4.5 billion minus 7 days in there was existence and life on this earth. It said God created the sun, the moon, the stars, the him and her, and then there was another her that came about somewhere in there. He created the creeping things. He created, all of these things. Meanwhile, the he that y'all speak of can never ever have a baby, never ever create nothing. The female creates. We are creation. So it's been a lie somewhere in this system since he started talking. And who is the he that we speak of? Is that an allegory or is that intentional? Because so far the men have been ruling the planet and ain't shit working. Ain't nothing working. It's older stuff that we out here destroying the planet. Mother Nature, for all intents purposes, Mother Nature is dying. Why? Because y'all need a place to live. Y'all need a house. Y'all need stuff. Y'all need stuff to live in. Mind you, on top of that, y'all were already given stone buildings that could have lasted for billions and billions of years. God already said, even in the text, if it's a lie, they told it, that y'all will go into places that y'all didn't build, y'all didn't exist. Mind you, it was stone. They decided to tear that down and tear up the trees. And I keep telling y'all that kill, steal, and destroy, they already told y'all who was a part of kill, steal, and destroy narrative. They rule the world. They're running the planet. Anybody that's out here telling you that, oh, we got to tear down forests and this, that, deforestation is nothing but the devil. Because we need oxygen. And after the fact that we don't have the oxygen, how the fuck do y'all think y'all gonna breathe? I know y'all don't like when I cuss, but it just makes me wonder. Do they got different, areas and things? And this is what I'm saying. It don't make sense. Because you want me to believe a narrative, but the earth started 4.5 billion years ago. And that could potentially be a lie too, because of the fact that it could be older than that. But literally they said, again, I told you what the Jesuits do, those Jesus people. They tell you the truth and a lie in your face. So they didn't lie when they said Homo sapiens have been here 400, almost 400 years, 400,000 years. Don't forget the 1,000 years. Well, why? Because they started reclassifying people. That's the reason why. So I didn't lie to you because I said Homo sapiens, us, our group of people, have been here around 300,000 years ago. But see, the thing that messes with that scenario is that then that also puts kings, men or people that ruled the earth here that ruled for 28,000 years. But mind you, how could that be? Well, we're going to call it Marvel superheroes. We're going to call it an allegory. It's just a story. Well, if it's just a story, then what the hell was happening when during that time? Because around 300,000 years, because when we go back to the kings over here, they were here for 432. That's the total of what they were doing. And then it gives you the kings, the people that are documented on the walls, and this, that, and third. So again, something's not making sense. Yeah, a myth. That's a mythological creatures. So it says if you mean human ancestors. So these are our ancestors, but they don't get created, they don't get talked about as if they are a part of the human race. So how are you separating them if you're calling them human ancestors? It's not making sense. So the Sahelanthropus taxidermists, they said those people around here 7 million years ago. Now see what I'm saying? Now listen to this. You just heard me say um 400 billion years ago is when the earth forms, right? All right, so it says that these people became here, they came here 7 million years ago. That's the first group of people, right? All right, so at 4.5 billion years ago, the earth forms. And then it says 3.5 billion years ago, earliest simple life. What does that mean though? Because to me that says early simple life, that's farming, that's people, that's whatever, but apparently that's not what it means. Then it says a billion years ago, mostly microscopic life and early multicellular organisms. Who are they? Because again, when in the Bible, when the book starts, it says God created this, and this, the fish, this, that, all in 7 days, right? But we got billions of years in between this shit. So either God lying or they lying. Then it say 541 million years ago, rapid diversification of complex animals, the Cambrian explosion. But I just told y'all that on another up here it say 700. Let me slide on back around. You see what I'm saying? Something's not adding up. 7 million years ago. 7 million. All right, go back. 7 million years ago is when the first group of people came here. 7 million. So then we go down here to 230. Dinosaurs disappeared, but there was no people around here when the dinosaurs was around here. And then it goes from 230 million to 300,000. So what happened in between the 230 million and 7 million is when the people came, is what they saying. It's a disconnect for sure. That's what Majestic Grace said. And no lies were told because they're not speaking of it, but just because they're not speaking of it don't mean that it's still non-existent. So they want to just tell us that the earth just magically, miraculously just showed up and nobody was here, but the story of creation says that God created heaven and earth and the stars in this many days. But the earth is billions of years old. So did that happen back then, or did it happen less than 10,000 years ago when y'all started writing a book? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Let's go up here because then it says Homo erectus is one of the most successful early humans. They walked upright, used tools, controlled fire, had fire in some regions, and spread across Africa and Eurasia. Homo heidelbergensis, however that is pronounced, possibly emerging around that period, considered by many scientists to be an ancestor of the Neanderthals and modern humans. So if they're still humans, why is there a distinction between this amount of time, and who we are right now as a people? It's not adding up. Then on top of that, you got to think, although they're talking about these people the way they're talking about them, right? Where did the technology come from? Because ancient Egypt, one of the places that they talk about a whole lot, right? And a lot of the information and a lot of the stuff that got stolen because all of a sudden there was, a boom in, human knowledge and everything else. And all of a sudden we got the Catholic Church and all the other cities, Germany, Rome, Italy, da 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 da. And you add it to the whoever the history, Switzerland, all of these people gaining artifacts and everything else from Africa. And then even in the process of that, so now today they're talking about each one teach one. Let's all get together, da 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 da. But you're still sitting on stolen stuff. You're still basically trying to make it so you can rob, steal, and pillage from Africa. You're still trying to make sure that there is disconnect and dissension amongst these black people, this group of people, this group of people. Mind you, then for some reason, y'all remember the fact that Noah is albino? Do y'all remember that? Because this the thing. And also remember these stories come from somewhere else. Because remember I told you that these stories, I gave y'all two different reasons yesterday, two different stories that came from somewhere else. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what this is, but it says if you mean the mystery of Noah, people usually refer to the unanswered question and symbolism surrounding Noah and the flood history. No, I mean his birth. Um, was the flood global or regional? Okay, maybe they got better questions than I got because you got to remember to ask the right questions. Did it describe a real ancient disaster remembered across cultures? Why do civilizations have flood stories? Flood traditions appear. Epic of Gilgamesh, which I need to go pull that because for some reason that keeps coming up. Ancient Greek stories, Hindu traditions, indigenous oral stories because this shit is not new. Everything is already happened. People wonder how large. No, the days of Noah. In the Bible, Jesus Christ refers to the days of Noah as a warning about people becoming spiritually unaware before sudden change. That led many theologians to explore themes like corruption, violence, moral collapse, spiritual disconnection. Mind you, these are the people that's doing it. It's funny how they be telling you about shit that they're doing. Like they the ones, somebody was doing something yesterday and they were saying about the people that if you didn't want to be in the system they would get rid of you. But go look up throughout Christian and the development and everything else. If you didn't agree with them people killed you. If you out here and you spoke against anything, if you were not doing what they wanted you to do, they killed you in the name of God. They didn't try to reason with you, they didn't try to talk to you, they didn't try to give you the good word. They took your ass out of the simulation. So that's, funny how they'll tell you about all these bad things that people do, but in the name of God, in the name of Jesus, they got you up out of here. I be laughing when I see stuff like that, and it's almost like people can't see it. Like you scared people into following you, and that's crazy. It wasn't a nice little, oh, you gave me the word and I thought you were correct. It was, if you didn't follow what I said, you don't belong here. So maybe that's the way that you're supposed to do it. Because, the God that they serve is who does that. Ain't no talking about it. Mind you, the number one rule of Earth School is what? Don't die. Please and thank you. Oh, that's why I can't find it, because it was in the book of Enoch. Okay. So, in the book of Enoch, which was a part of biblical text before, but then some people decided that y'all shouldn't have that. Um, so the book of Enoch is inside of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. It's inside of their canon. It got taken out because the Catholic Church said y'all don't need to know nothing about that. It's gonna mess up some stuff. Anyway, or whatever they said. I don't know, but either way, you ain't got it. So that is looked at as however they looked at it. Because again, I don't really want to identify with people and really understand what they thought if they never gonna tell me. They never gonna tell me the truth. So I would be assuming, and I don't want to assume what the hell they thought, other than the fact that we know that it was in their canon, in the Ethiopian canon. But all we also know that they was calling for books and things of that nature to be sent to them so they can destroy them. They didn't send this book. This is the only reason why people got it. Okay. Anyway, in the book of Enoch, which is in the Ethiopian Bible. And mind you, these things just be coming back out of nowhere, because it be stuff that I just be forgetting, and then all of a sudden the universe will say, "Remember this, though. Don't forget this." Um, it says in the book of Enoch, especially in sections connected to the birth of Noah, Noah is portrayed as an extraordinary child during birth, a time of corruption and chaos before the flood. One of the famous passages describes Noah at birth as unusual and radiant. The text says he appeared different from ordinary humans, with imagery suggesting brightness and wisdom. Because of this, Lamech became frightened and questioned whether Noah was truly his son. According to this story, Lamech feared Noah might be connected to the Watchers, heavenly beings described earlier in Enoch. He went to his father Methuselah. Methuselah then consulted Enoch. Enoch reassures them that Noah is truly human. So Noah is truly human. Noah is also the one that they saved during the flood. They told him to get his family, da 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 da. So that would also mean that Noah's genetics are unusual and radiant, but he's human. So for all intents purposes, if you look at the way it's basically describing him, heavenly beings described earlier in Enoch. Lamech feared Noah will be connected to the Watchers. Heavenly beings described earlier in Enoch. He went to his father Methuselah. Methuselah then consulted Enoch. Enoch reassures them that Noah is truly human and that he has been chosen to survive the coming judgment of the flood and preserve humanity. The book of Enoch also describes the world before the flood as filled with violence, corruption, forbidden knowledge, disorder brought by the Watchers teaching humans destructive things. So again, right? At what point in time is this throughout history? Is it during the billions of years, or is it during the 10,000 years that basically when the Bible and everything was being constructed? It would have to be a little bit, maybe in the 10,000 years, because how old was, from the time that the Bible was written, or the not the first religion, when was the first organized? All right, and this is the other thing. So we was talking about how if time is being corrupted, right? Meaning time travel and things of that nature. And most people will not believe in it and anything else, but people will tell you about books and things that exist. So that would start to change certain things. And again, I know nobody wants to listen or believe it, but if it's a lie, they're telling it. And so all I'm doing is questioning, why would y'all tell us that if it's not correct? What is the motive? What is the motive behind whatever this is? Because there has to be a motive. Like, even going past, we can talk about this till the sky falls, right? But I don't really like that narrative. I want to get I like problem solving. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, what you want me to do, God? Um and going around and around the mulberry bush doing the same exact thing is not what I wish to do, because it's like chasing your tail. So what do we need to do with this, and what are we supposed to take away from this? Because clearly we know they lied, right? Clearly we know that something is corrupted. Is it you? Is it them? I didn't create the stories. All I'm trying to do is get down to the bottom of why the narrative is being painted right here, right now, at this moment in time. What does it benefit human civilization? What does it benefit you? What does the benefit your descendants? What does it benefit any of us or them for this to have happened? Because I don't know about y'all, but I can feel whatever energy that they're putting out, whatever that is, and I don't like it, because it's like a weight, like something trying to pull you down. And if y'all don't feel that, I don't know what to tell you. But I can feel it. I don't like that, because that's not the way life should feel. Life should feel like it's amazing out this bitch. Look at the sun. Like, outside. Being outside is, I've been doing planting and things of that nature. I love seeing the difference in the growth on a daily basis. Why is there no water? Normally I be in the rainy season around here. Why is Georgia having droughts when Georgia should be flooded by now? Like, literally, we would be. And what did they say? April showers bring May flowers. And for the past couple years around here, I kept wondering, like, when is it going to stop raining? Like, because it was raining a lot. But April showers, remember, that's another one of those nursery rhymes for us to remember. When it's raining, 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 that's what brings the growth. But also it's fertility. It's the things in life that we're supposed to remember, but something is not happening like it's supposed to, because even though it'll look like it's about to rain, it's not raining. Which, the funny thing is I actively probably should know how to make it rain, only because if I start taking y'all outside, then all of a sudden it's gonna rain. So let me try that today. I'm gonna take y'all outside. Cause the minute I start trying to take y'all outside, all of a sudden it's like, take your ass back in the house. So I'm gonna see if I can try that today, because I need it to rain. Like, although I got water and I've been giving them water, the rain is what makes the plants grow like crazy. So whatever's in the sky, whatever comes out of the sky, makes my plants around here grow like wildfire. But Georgia's having wildfires, just so y'all know. Anyway, y'all going outside today. Because if y'all are the reason and the way to make it rain, then we gonna see, okay? Because most of the time, that's when it start fucking raining. When I'm trying to do something. There's no single agreed upon organized religion. First religion developed gradually around over thousands of years, but historians and archaeologists, which is a part of the problem too, because they be lying too. Um, and archaeologists, they be playing for the other side. They don't be playing for humanity. They be doing stuff. Archaeologists point to some of the earliest known organized belief systems in ancient civilizations. Some of the oldest organized religions include ancient Mesopotamian religion. In Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, organized temple worship existed around 3,500 to 3,000 BCE. Oh, don't do it like that, because I need to know exactly how many years was that. You see how they get ready live? So I said, how many years ago was that from now? Anyway, because we gotta watch what the fuck they be doing. Anyway, so it says, I'm gonna finish reading what they said though, because they be trying to play in our face. Ask the right question. Now, ancient Mesopotamian religion in Mesopotamia, modern Iraq, organized temple worship existed around 3500 3000 BCE. People worship gods connected to the sky, rivers, fertility, war, and kingship. Major deities including Anu, Enlil, and Inanna. Ancient Egyptian religion is in Egypt became highly organized around 3000 BCE with priesthoods, temples, sacred texts. Because y'all think that's real far away, don't y'all? Y'all tell me in the chat, how far y'all long ago do y'all think 3000 BCE was? Thank you, Al Green. Thank you. Support the sister, period. Amen. Look, I mean, how long ago do y'all think was 3000 BCE? Put it in the chat, please. Don't go look it up. Just put it in the chat from your thinking in your mind, because that's what's going to make it fun. Tell me how long ago you think 3000 BCE is. All right. So with priesthood, temples, sacred texts, rituals tied to Pharaoh, important figures back then included Ra or Osiris and Isis, early Vedic religion and ancient India, the early form of later developed Hinduism, began with Vedic traditions around 1500 BCE. How long ago do y'all think 1500 BCE was? Put it in the chat. Y'all not acting like y'all want to talk. Y'all gonna go look it up. See, y'all like them. Y'all be cheating. Just put it in the chat, because there's a couple of y'all here. It ain't no right or wrong answer. I'm just telling you how our brains work. This is to show y'all. I'm not really sure. I think the BC AD is a time glitch. Girl, you Majestic Grace, listen. At this point, all of it is a time glitch to me because these people be playing. But just take a wild guess, because it sounds like if the Earth began 4.5 billion years ago and 1500 BCE, to me it would be like a long time ago. Like I would say at least hundreds of thousand years ago, right? That's what I just would be thinking and believing, because BCE, before Christ, that means that was a long time ago. Egypt seems like a long time ago, right? Before organized religion, long before formal religions, humans likely practiced ancestral worship, burial rituals, shamanism, the indigenous people, nature, spirituality, all the stuff that existed, that basically helped the world all these billions of years or hundreds of thousands of years, okay? So archaeological sites suggest spiritual behavior may go back tens of thousands of years. So with that being said, tens of thousands of years, that means that 12,000, 5,500 BCE, this stuff already existed. It means tens of thousands of years, because it says archaeological sites suggest spiritual behavior may go back tens of thousands of years. That means that we were ancestral worship, burial rituals, shamanism, natural spirits, nature spirits. Okay. Then it says one famous ancient ritual site is Gobekli, Tempe, dating around 9,600 BCE. That got to be a longer time ago, right? Older than many cities and farms. Many researchers think organized religion emerged when humans formed larger settled societies with agriculture, government, priests, classes, temples, written language. There are visual references of some of the earliest organized religious civilization, and as y'all know, because we talked about it yesterday, the Sumerian tablets, they had a whole library that these people found, and it had all of these tablets there. So these people were writing and giving, knowledge and stuff, right? So now, Mesopotamian organized religion, 3,500 to 3,000 BCE. Y'all wanna know how long ago that was? Y'all didn't guess. Y'all was being scary. It said to me hundreds of thousands of years. Up here it say archaeologist sites suggest spiritual behavior may go back 10,000 years ago. So spiritual behavior, I'm a spiritual behavior person, right? So that means that I like candles. So should be finding jars of animal fat and things of that nature where you could light a candle, or it should be just candles around anyway, because of the fact that shit, we got to see in the dark, right? Because I'm sure it wasn't fun to be around here and y'all got wild animals walking around in the middle of the night. So you should be able to find a candle. You should be able to find some bushes and stuff, for it says incense. Even, God gave instructions in the temple for incense. So you should find stuff that's bound together for incense. What else religious people be having? We heard about the chest plate. Aaron's plates had stones and things in them, and y'all always talking about spiritual people be having stones and shit, right? So anyway, long story short, when we get down here, Mesopotamian organized religion, 3,500 to 3,000 BCE, is about 5,500 years ago to 5,000 years ago. Damn, that ain't that long ago if the earth is 4.5 billion years. And even if people ain't been here since then, because, the creation story could have been a fucking lie, because that's what they're saying. I'm not saying it. They're saying it, because if 4,500, 4.5 billion years ago, the earth came into existence and God didn't do it like they saying, that it just was sitting here. But the story that I was told, what is embedded in my brain via Christianity and the Jesus people, is that when the earth came into existence, God said, "Let there be light." And then there was light, and it was good. But now these people are telling us that the earth is 4.5 billion years ago, and it just sat here. There was no creation story. Pamela Adams, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here. So again, I'm not saying it. I'm not talking about nothing other than what is being given, what has been given throughout history, and how the timelines have been corrupted. And it wasn't me that did it, because I wasn't that old. I'm only 50. I'm not 4.5 billion years ago. No matter how infinite my energy is or anything, I sit in front of y'all, being that reincarnated here right now at this moment in time. And as of now, I only got 50 years on the board. So if it's a lie, you're going to have to talk to y'all people. And don't let them, tell you that, oh, well, they're just saying, they said what they said, and it ain't no way around it. If the earth is 4.5 billion years ago and God created it 4.5 billion years ago, then that means that 4.5 billion years ago, people was on this planet, and then they actively just wiped them away and acting like they didn't exist. The same way they trying to act as if we're not tied to each one of the species that's here. They just basically said, oh, these people just disappeared. And the human that you are, the person that you are, the Homo sapiens, are only 300,000 years old. Why is it important? Well, just as anything, your birth, if you don't have a birthday, like you don't know when you came into this realm, then that would be a problem for you. If you don't know who your parents are, that would be a problem for you. You just randomly showed up. That's basically what they're trying to tell us. And so, like, what does it matter? Okay, so what is the issue? Anyway, so when we go back to ancient Egyptian organized religion, which is where all of this information came from, aka Africa and Asia Minor. Mind you, it's stuff so potent and so powerful that they got it locked up in vaults. So you mean to tell me 4.5 billion years ago, and just ancient Egyptian organized religion 5,000 years ago. Globekli Tempe goes back to 11,600 years ago. Early Vedic traditions go back 3,500 years ago. Early Judaism was only formed 3,200 years ago to 205. So every single one of them, the Torah, the Bible, Ethiopian Bible, all of these things, none of them are older than 11,600 years old, and that's Gobekli Tempe. None of them. But the earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago. So it's a simple takeaway. This is their words, not mine. So simple takeaway. The earliest organized temple religions are 5,000 to 555 years ago. Spiritual ritual sites before cities are 11,000 years ago. So organized religion as we recognize it, priests, temples, structured worship goes back roughly 5,000 years, but spiritual and ritual behavior goes back much further, over 10,000 years. Do y'all believe them? Because you have a mind of your own. But mind you, they called for ancient Egyptian artifacts that are now locked away in a building that they're saying are dangerous to society. But these people have, they called them, everything but people, savages. They called them low mind spans, because I sent, who did I send that to? I think I sent to you, Majestic Grace, yesterday, where they had went through, killed a bunch of people, and they from Africa, from Nigeria, and then they tried to make it seem like these were low level individuals because they've even measured their brains and this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden, they were living in these people's houses and things of that nature. So they will tell you that you are less than, but meanwhile, these people can't survive without your shit. So it's not adding up. Throughout time, throughout history, none of the stuff that happens makes any sense to me. What the hell is this? Let's
Alexa
see.
talking about she got some news for
us. Alexa said, y'all, we're gonna die anyway in 2028.
When is the zombie apocalypse?
The zombie apocalypse will begin in May 2028 in the United Kingdom and spread to the rest of the world by July 2028. It will be the worst in the UK and the Philippines.
Will the United States...
She said July 2028. Alexa is giving us predictions about the zombie apocalypse starts in the UK in 2028. Now, what the hell? What type of shit is this? But, y'all keep Alexa in y'all house, though. Y'all can go listen to that. I think I replayed that. Let me see.
Did y'all see the story about the lady who has a smart home?
No, don't need that. Let me see. Who did I send it to? I sent it to somebody because...
Wait, is that Darth Vader staring down from a cathedral?
Why is Darth Vader on the side of a building, right? But mind you, when you go in here, it says, it's a cathedral, just so y'all know. It says Washington National Cathedral really does have a small stone carving of Darth Vader on the building onto the cathedral. It was officially added in the 1980s as part of a children's design contest. But it's a cathedral, a church. Does that mean, because symbolically Darth Vader said, "I am your father"? Do the information what you will. I just be thinking shit be funny because these people really be playing in our face.
The original blueprint of human genetics. And they've been here before, 300 million years ago.
Like, these people really be trying to play in our face, and you have to laugh at this shit, because guess what? If you don't, it's gonna make you go crazy, because like they think you can't rationalize nothing. And let me see, where's the one where they took all these people? They literally killed all of these people.
Germany wiped out 80% of an entire people and kept their skulls
Germany.
for over 100 years.
Kept their skulls for over 100 years. So 1904 in Namibia, I can't play because I got music. It says, the hero people lived here for centuries. Then Germany arrived and took everything, their land, their cattle, their freedom. For 20 years, they endured it until one day they fought back. In January 1904, the rise came, they beat their ass. They killed the German soldiers, but the women and children, they spared them. You know, one thing I love about the people, every time I turn around, they don't mess with the women and the children. But them other people, this is how you could tell who really are the savages. Because even to this day in time, I seen, it was something about Jamaica. He had beef with the father. What he said was, baby is innocent. Not them people. You know what they do? They kill the women, the children, and everybody, because they say you the savage, but women and children ain't got nothing to do with it. Anyway, they took their shit back. They took their land back, but Germany doesn't forgive. They send their most ruthless general, Lothar von somebody. Hold on, let me go back because it went too fast. Lothar von, because we need to know people's names. Lothar von Trotha, Trotha, to win and to erase the people. Mind you, so the German troops, they trap the hero, the people, gunfire erupts, and this is how they keep winning because, again, gunfire, mass production. This is why the people that be selling the guns, that shit. They took no prisoners, had no mercy. The army did not chase them to capture them. They chased them to kill them. They still off the desert. Then they poison all the water. For hundreds of miles. Anybody that was left in the desert trying to come back, they basically shot and killed them. Everybody in the graveyard. So then next thing they did was they cut off the people's heads. So entire civilization vanished. So remember I said over here they act like these people was not part of whatever. This is how people be dying. They cut off their heads, boiled the skin off, and shipped it to Berlin for racial experiments. The skulls are displayed in museums, used to prove that these people were inferior. By 1908, it's over 65,000 hero people dead, 10,000 Nama killed too, and over 80% of an entire people gone. And no one published it, no one apologized, no one got persecuted for it. They celebrated this man as a hero. So 100 years later, Germany ends up finding these boxes in hospitals, museums, universities, hundreds of skulls, still labeled, still measured, still treated like objects. And then in 2021, it's 2026. In 2021, Germany finally admits the truth. And then they call it a genocide. 117 years later, but by then the entire people had already been erased. Germany wiped out 80% of an entire people and kept their skulls for over 100 years. 1904 Nambina, the hero, people lived for centuries, but mind you, ended up dead. This is the history. But they don't want to talk about that. They decided that they want to talk about it 100 years later in 2021. And oops, we're sorry. That was a genocide. But meanwhile, back at band camp, where the skulls at? Did they return them back to Africa? That video reminded me of the Django 2 when the Candy and Master had that skull. Mind you, I don't know if they returned it, but again, another thing that they did to Africa. These people keep doing stuff to Africa, and it's funny how, and I'm gonna just say this because I keep thinking it's funny how the African people don't like us and they keep wanting to be friendly with these people, but mind you, they know them people don't like them. They mad at us. We didn't do anything to them, or maybe we did. I don't know. Maybe it was something that happened with our people and their people back in the day. I don't know. But one of the things that I do know is this: at some point in time, and right now, as they're rising up and they're taking all their stuff and everything back, please know, Africa, that we rooting for you. I'm rooting for you because if nobody else is rooting for them, I love when I hear Traore did this, that, or the third, and it's making the people better. I love when I hear, they try to send a bitch to him and from a different foreign land, and he said no because I gotta marry somebody that's part of my people. I'm part of y'all people too, just so you know. Anyway, long story short, after y'all get y'all shit together, come help y'all people. And that's what I'm gonna say, because at some point in time, people gonna have to realize and understand, like, if we never do the hard thing, they gonna continue to keep being who they are and not realizing, yes, we are one people, and again, but they don't want to be one people with us. They literally don't want to be one people because even throughout history, they keep saying these are our ancestors over here. September Wilson, hi, welcome, thank you for being here. They call these people our ancestors. But mind you, when they ask how long we've been here, they will say 300 years, 300,000 years. Why? Because we are Homo sapiens, not the fact that one begat the other or anything else. They keep trying to figure out how to separate one generation from the other. The same way they figured out how to use black and white, mind you, same people, same genetics, same everything, came from the same same place. But, again, we can start to realize how certain different, because if Noah, let's see this. If Noah was albino, right? For all intents and purposes, they said he was different. Mind you, the way he glowed or the way he, looked, they thought that he was a part of the fucking Nephilim. But they said, no, he's really a human. Right? So that means he looked different. The only people that look different that are the same as us are albino, right? So I'm going to take it that he looked like albino. It's saying that there's no biblical evidence that Noah was albino. I didn't ask you that. What I said was, if he was, all right, albinism is a genetic condition usually caused by mutations affecting. Okay, so whatever the hell Noah was. Okay. I'm going to just use it for whatever it's saying. So for whatever difference that the book of Enoch So I want to know what his genetics would look like, because again, they had a whole lot of people. They had people in his family actively having to go to his grandfather, which was in heaven or on the other side of the earth, because it said he went to the ends of the earth. Ends of the earth could be the ice wall. I don't know, because we would have to go back and look at the book of Enoch, and I might have it over here, but I don't know. Anyway, we can only answer this as a thought experiment because neither the Bible nor the book of Enoch gives any real genetic description of Noah. But if we take the idea in some Enoch traditions that Noah was distinct, set apart, or unusually pure radiant, and translate this into modern genetics, here's what it would mean in scientific terms. Selected doesn't mean different species. Nobody said that. Even in those texts, Noah is still human. So genetically, he would still be fully Homo sapiens. No evidence of non-human DNA. Other species genetically would apply. So I never said that, and we already agreed to that. So selected would not be. Maybe it was the word I used. Anyway, pigmentation genes, variants in genes like SLC 24A5 and OCA2 / TYR could produce very light skin. That was what I was trying to get at. So although they try to play in my face, the point of it is that Noah would have been very light skinned. Still AKA, copper color person, just a lighter version. Because at that time, there was no black or white. It was only melanated. So he still would have been a melanated person, just a lighter version of melanation. So very light skin, unusual eye color, blue, gray, or green. Light or atypical hair pigmentation. This is where ideas like radiance appearance could symbolically come from in storytelling. But mind you, if you go look up in Africa, still to this day, there's a group of people who are the definition of this. Let's see. Which would also tell me something else. y'all, this shit gets on my nerves. Because a minute ago, it just told me that I can't say that Noah would be an albino, right? But then this bitch literally says right now, what you're describing, very light skin, light hair, light eyes, due to variants like with the variant that it gave me, SLC24A5, OCA2, TYR, in real life most closely relates to a condition called albinism. But you just told me that I can't say that. But after it gave me the code for the DNA, it's albinism. What the fuck? Like, I think this thing really be trying it. Like, you don't want me to say it, but then when you get the act, you gave me the code, I used the code, and it's an albino. That's where they are. Albinism exists in every population on Earth, including all regions of Africa. However, it is more visibly documented in some African countries due to population genetics and reporting. Higher recorded states are found in parts of Tanzania, Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. Elon Musk is a fucking product of this. Y'all, because Noah, the one that they chose, the one that God chose, and whatever year that was, 5,000 years ago, because of whatever happened on Earth, because Elon Musk South African, even though he tried to play like he white, that is a less melanated version, that is albino. That's the code for it. But why do he hate black people? Why do they hate where they come from? Or I ain't gonna say black people because I'm gonna take that back. That's the wrong word. Why do they dislike melanated people? Because they're melanated people still. They just have a less version of it. In some communities in Tanzania, for example, estimates can be as high as 1 in 1,400 and 1 in 5,000 births, which is higher than the global average. What it actually looks like genetically, people with albinism typically have very low or no melanin production, very light skin compared to family members, light or white hair, light blue gray eyes, reduced pigment in the eyes. This is usually caused by mutations in genes like TYR, trinosinase. I don't know how to say that. It's TYRON, wrong. TYROSINASE. Key enzyme for melanin production. OCA2, pigment related protein. Other related pigmentation genes. Important clarification. Are not unique to any one ethnicity or hidden group. I didn't say that. It's a naturally occurring genetic variant. It was naturally occurring. Remember, it happened to Noah. And if it's a lie, they told it. Mind you, they told it earlier and then they try to take it out because the people who are trying to paint a narrative that black and white and people exist, it's a less melanated gene. It was never a black and white. It was a description and it was a trait that they were basically trying to now say, but it never. I don't know what these people talking about. Anyway, like I said, even up here, they try to separate us from 405 billion years of the Earth being in existence, and I'm not the one saying it. It is what has been documented, what has been recorded, and again, everybody could just be guessing because who told them that they know? But what we do know is this: they literally try to separate different groups of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups of people, but for some reason it keeps being seven. Seven. So I don't know if they're missing two because something else that I've been looking at, and I'll tell y'all when I figure it out or when I just am ready to, But I've been looking at this thing and it's saying that there's been seven civilizations of people on this planet. I don't know if that's true. Again, it keeps coming up. It keeps showing me, but literally members of the human family, hominids, go back much further. So that could be another group, but then it has the Sahelanthropus tachydinus, Anthra, all of these people. They call her Lucy. I guess that's something that they found. Lucy, around 3.2 million years. I think I know that too, because I remember when I always like National Geographic and shit like that. And I think Lucy, I've seen her before because I think she might have been the one they found sleep in the ice. Let me see. Hold on. Because they keep finding humans, but I don't understand why they don't classify them as the same as Homo sapiens if they're still people. You know, that's something that I guess you got to be an anthropologist or somebody to know. Because to me, if it's a person, then it's a person. But you know, that could be my fragile mind and thinking. And who decided that is also another thing. Who keeps deciding these things? Who keeps deciding the manipulation of life? To me, it's like and this is how my mind processes it. For them to be able to try to separate the people, it is basically to kind of categorize, okay, this time, this time, this time. Meanwhile, we got separations of that time from this time that is absolutely missing, and so it's not making sense. Excuse me. Let's see who Lucy is. Um, is a 3.2 million year old fossilized hominin, is what they calling them, discovered in 1979 in Hadar, Ethiopia. That provided pivotal evidence that bipedalism, upright walking, preceded the evolution of large brains. Hold on, let me see what Lucy looked like, because I don't think this is it. All right, so this is basically, well, this shit is weird. This is basically a monkey, is what they trying to say. But that's like bears right now walking upright. Bears walking upright because there's a bear that's actively walking around right now, but they're saying what? Yo, that's like they talking about the P-52s and P-47s. I don't know if y'all seen them, but they supposed to be like the alien hybrid something or another. I don't want to ever look like that. So I don't know if that's old, new, or time past, but literally, anyway, this looked like a gorilla. Rose Neal, hi, welcome, thanks for being here. But they trying to say that these people, and maybe this the other part. See, maybe I'm not looking at it the right way, because there's people right now that live on Earth that are full hair body. They're still people, right? And so if these people rationalize and this, then, and the third, so maybe it's just the thing, because we have to remember that people will evolve based off of where they are from or where they're at. But this looked like a walking gorilla. But this ain't what I was looking at. I was looking at the one, the people, it's a female that they found in the snow. What did they classify her as? And then, furthermore, they said one of these groups lived even longer than we have right now. Let's see. This one right here, Siberian ice maiden. And the Siberian ice maiden is 2,400 year old. Is that her? I don't think that's her. This one looked like an Eskimo. I don't know. I can't find. Well, hold on. Images. All right. Well, I don't know. Can't find her. This one is the Siberian lady. So they keep showing her. The woman, aged about 50, was buried in a Siberian ice cave and discovered millennia later. I don't know. Anyway, so why they're classifying them, let's see, with the Homo habilis, what they look like 2.4 million years ago. Rose, how you doing? Mike, how you doing? I love you. Thank you for being here. All right, copy this. Let's move this over here, see what these people look like. Because again, if y'all are classifying them as people, or are they not classifying them as people? That's the part that I'm confused by. Those still look like different monkeys, but more people like monkey. Those are the Homo habilis, is what they're trying to say. That right there look like somebody I know to this day. All right, so Homo erectus. I remember this in school. Do y'all believe this, or do y'all think that's just another smoke and mirror shit? Cause for some reason I ain't fucking buying it. More of a monkey still, but less hairy. That is Homo erectus. So going up, they look more monkey-like. I don't believe it. Like I just, for some reason, I just can't. So they're trying to say that we Homo sapiens are the closest to what we look like right now, and at this point, we've been here 3,000. So, but somehow there was a jump between 1.9 million years ago and now. But mind you, this is where all this technology and all this other extra shit came from. This nigga right here look like somebody I know. It looks like that's, remember they said Planet of the Apes? Y'all. Homo erectus and then Homo sapiens. So this is some bullshit. Even the Homo sapiens around 300 years ago still look like Planet of the Apes. Majestic Grace, I'm for real. Like, they getting on my nerves. Because literally, like, why are y'all going through so much? Like, why are y'all going through so much to hide this? It must be something great. It's like what I say about the people even right now. Like, y'all can't digest how amazing as a people we must really be for the amount of trouble that these people have gone through to try to cover us up, hide us, and act as if this shit is the thing. Because even if you go look up Homo sapiens, it literally still look like the rest of them. Ain't no different. We just became less hairy. Like, I mean, Veet and Shaven exist. You see what I'm saying? But this ain't what people look like on them walls. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This got to be some lying ass shit. Because them people, go look at any Egyptian walls, any of that. Mind you, again, that civilization ain't that far away from here either. Go look at what them people look like. It's not this. This is why they can't be trusted. They never going to be able to be trusted. I feel like everybody gonna have to start, coming together, create the timeline. So y'all remember what I said? Oh, I found this thing, right? So all of a sudden my phone started doing this strange stuff. This girl came across my phone and I ended up saving it. But why is there a CIA declassified document talking about how time portals work? Look at this shit. Y'all, these people, I'm telling you, they be playing right in our face. Like, they got stuff that's right there, and they just be like, well, if y'all ain't gonna go look at it, then I ain't gonna tell y'all. What did I do with it? Oh my God. Please tell me I saved it. Anyway, it don't matter because I can look it up. Like, literally, all we gotta do is look this shit up. Like, this stuff is gonna just pop right up out of nowhere because they really is playing in our face, but they don't care no more. Like, they said, y'all not gonna go look up nothing. Even if you look it up, you ain't gonna understand it. That's what they think. And I really do not like the fact that they just think that we're just so stupid because, you know. The caveman story is a joke in my opinion. It's all a fucking joke. They get on my nerves. I told you, Mike, last night, like last night, my dreams was irritated. Like, I was irritated because as I was listening to this shit, it's making me think. Like, I can hear y'all actively saying what y'all saying, and it's not making no sense. And like, when you run the timeline for yourself, it's still not gonna make no sense.
And takes a while to digest, but it's 100% worth it. It's an official declassified CIA document, and a terrific analysis of consciousness and beyond.
Y'all, like, literally, just go Google this shit.
CIA document that says we live in a holographic reality.
CIA declassified document. This is the stuff that your government is working on. This is the stuff that they have declassified. They don't give a damn if you know. These niggas is out here doing documents. They got a woman's uterus as a portal.
Here, that is pituitary. That is the Crystal Palace, where we generate.
Like, they don't care what we know at this moment. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. You remember when Kevin Hart said, "You ain't gonna do shit." Like, that's how they feel about us. They know we're not going to do shit. We're not going to do shit.
Opened the doorway to another dimension and couldn't close it. In 1974, Dr. Russell Todd was
like,
y'all
not ready. That's why they said they can't tell you nothing, because y'all not ready. Let's just go ahead and give them the documents. They ain't ready because they ain't gonna look. They don't care. They not gonna believe nobody that comes along and tells them. They're gonna be looking at people that like they crazy. And with that being said, I don't know what to tell y'all. Either way, if you can think it, if you can achieve it, you can believe it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. That right there was the gateway, the portal to let you know that if your brain can think it, it exists. Don't believe me. Because, you know, who am I? Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. But hold on. Don't go nowhere yet. Because, you know, how we always going to close this out. Because we got to be mindful that we are very powerful as a person and, you know, as a system, as a society. And it don't matter because in the end, God always wins. So, if everything we know is wrong, it don't matter. As long as we know God and long as we got God, we gonna be okay. Okay. But to be better than okay, have God and also go look for some stuff, because if God is also saying, you know, actively look it up, seek and ye shall find. Seek and ye shall find. I will seek truth with clarity, patience, and grounding understanding. I am open to learning while staying anchored in reality. My curiosity leads me to knowledge, not confusion. I think critically and do not accept ideas without discernment. I am calm when exploring complex or unfamiliar topics. I allow facts and evidence to guide my understanding. My mind is strong, balanced, and focused. I release assumptions and welcome accurate information. I am connected to wisdom that helps me grow in healthy ways. I trust my ability to tell the difference between belief and evidence. I stay centered even when ideas feel overwhelming or mysterious. My understanding expands through learning, not speculation. I choose knowledge that empowers and stabilizes me. I am grounded in what is real, observable, and true. My thoughts are clear, disciplined and intentional. That being said, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Always go with God. It's action from the start, period. I can't wait, Mike. It's about to be a good week. At period. On purpose. Okay. If you wish to donate towards my channel, like, comment, share, subscribe. My GoFundMe and my Cash App is there. Also, super chat, super stickers are definitely welcome. And thank y'all for being here. See you tomorrow, 8:15. Love y'all.